Yo, hello ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love to anybody watching this. So I'm on the way home after work. Today is it's Saturday, the weekend, and I was thinking, like, I was driving my truck and I was thinking I was about to play some music, but then I thought, you know what? Because what I was thinking before was about like saving money, when in reality is, when you're working, that money shouldn't be saved. And at least if you are saving it, at least for me, for my case, I gotta stop saying bro. Not real. In my case, when I save money, right, I don't want to save it to spend it or waste it or go on a trip or something stupid. I want to save money so that I invest that money. Why? Because that money that you're saving, I worked for. I had to go over here and clock in. I had to come and drive damn near 30 minutes away from my home to come and clock in and give them my time to these guys over here. At this it's like technically a warehouse job, right? They produce like food and stuff, but I'm on the warehouse side because, well, it doesn't really matter what I do, right? It's just I get the chance to trade, which is great. No other job that I've had before gave me the ability to trade, right? When I was picking strawberries with my dad, I didn't even know what trading was still. Ooh, Audi! Brother! What are the chances? An Audi? What is that? What was the other one? A Ferrari and a Porsche. Just drive by. As soon as I'm making the drive talk, that's insane. And yesterday, another one, which is key, look, I got goosebumps. Yesterday, right before I did the drive talk, I was thinking of doing the drive talk, like, I said I was going to do the drive talk as a pump gas, but then a Corvette and a C10 passed by. The C10 passed over here on this side, and then a Corvette C8 passed over here on this side. And I was like, bruh, in another timeline, another universe, I started recording that drive talk, and I recorded that C8 and that C10 in another alternate universe. And I was like, bruh, I was, like, in my head at that exact moment, I was like, dude, I needed to record this. What just happened right now? It just happened that exact moment that I'm recording, cars decide to come up. What is that? What is that? An A12? Is that an A12? Why the fuck am I flipping the camera? That's an A12 Ferrari, brother. Look at that. Look at that. That's insanity. I will have my own one of those. I kind of want an SF90 first. Well, you gotta work your way up. Obviously, you gotta go for the 488, then maybe a Pista, then maybe an SF. The video cut off, but it cut off exactly at the great time because look what's behind me. My future fucking car, dude. Look at that. I don't even want to get close to it. Wow. What are the chances that when I'm doing this drive talk, all of those cars pass by? Each and every one of those cars I will own. I will own a Porsche. I will own a Corvette C8. I will own a Ferrari. And I will own an Audi R8. Right? Either, most likely it's going to be the Corvette. But before I even get it's either going to be a Hellcat Challenger, a GTR, or a C8 Corvette. But out of all of those, I'd pick the C8 Corvette, honestly. But in order for me to get one of those cars, right, that's the reward for, like, let's say a great trading day. Once you make, like, let's say $500K in an account, boom, you got yourself money for a car. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. I think that's just a Hellcat in the back. But still, man, even a Hellcat is a fucking great car. But that's a Charger. I'm gonna get the Challenger one, the 2-door one. Beautiful cars, man. Beautiful fucking cars. What are the chances of, right? But back, what was I even talking about? Dude. And now, obviously, it's Monterey Car Week, right? Right now, this in Monterey, which I think I'll talk about it in a previous drive talk, a couple drive talks ago, that I was gonna have my own car. Like, I gave myself when I'm 40, so basically 20 years, a little under 20 years, to make it to with my own car over there, right? Multiple cars over there. But back to the original point of the video, which I almost even forgot. You see, cars keep on passing by. That's the Hellcat right there, the Charger. But all beautiful cars. Today, markets are closed. It's Saturday, but we're still gonna go to work. We gotta hit legs, right? Today it's a leg day. I'm gonna hit calves and obviously legs, and we're gonna go over maybe some trades. We're not trades, but we're gonna go over some markups. I'm gonna mark up a couple, because I like to leave some for Sunday, but I'll do maybe three out of three. I'll chart them up first, three currency pairs or assets, and then I'll go over what I'm looking at for the week following, at least on those three. And man, those fucking cars, I needed to say something else, and I totally forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. Yo, so I literally had to watch the first drive talk to even remember what the fuck. That's insane. That's how much those cars literally took me off sway of what I was even talking about. I was talking about how, if at least in my case, if you want to save money, it's to invest it, right? Obviously, if you want to have some money for a rainy day, everybody needs money for a rainy day. Oh shit, I keep on forgetting that I'm making a video. Everybody needs money for a rainy day. But obviously, after you have the money for the rainy day or for your emergency or whatever, your little cushion, now whatever money you save after that, that's money to be invested, not to be wasted on stupid shit, right? People out here saving for a trip, saving for the car, saving for the, oh shit. The only reason I put down my phone right now is because there's two cops. There's two cops just chilling. Let me see if I can zoom in on them. They're right there. One right after the other one. So I had to put my phone down ASAP, right? But people are saving for a trip, saving for a car, saving for this, saving for that. Bro, when in reality, the money that you save after your emergency money is to be invested, not to be wasted. Not to be wasted on your stupid little trip, not to be wasted on your little car. If it makes you happy, I mean, go ahead and do it, right? If you're taking all the family on that trip, go ahead and do it, right? I'm not telling you I'm not telling you nobody how to live their life. I'm just telling you what works for me and what I'm doing for me. And this is my channel. What the fuck? I'm putting what the fuck I think, right? So that money should be invested in whatever it is that you. Obviously, first you need to invest it in knowledge. You need to invest it in whatever you want to invest in. Learn whatever it is first, right? Pay the course, pay the mentor, pay the teacher. Learn on YouTube, pay for the knowledge, pay for the course. All of those things, right? Before you earn, you gotta learn. And that's with anything, with trading, with freaking real estate, making money, whatever it is. Not real estate agents, like actually buying properties and renting them out and stuff. Fucking real estate agents don't do shit. Buying stocks, buying and selling oil, right? How start opening and starting a business, right? How to start your LLC, how to start your S corp, how do you start all of these shits, right? How do you start a company in Puerto Rico, right? How do you buy something that's not in your name, but you buy it with your company, right? How do you buy something and you leverage mainly credit? How do you get a loan and you leverage your credit? Instead of putting 100K down, you put 20K down for the loan for the 100K, right? All of those little hacks. Doing a 1031 exchange when you do have a business, right? So you use the profit. Video cut off. But, right? There's a bunch of things that you could do, bro. Instead of just wasting money. Obviously, once you made the money, once you've profited, once the passive income is coming from that real estate, not even just one, because obviously one is probably just going to pay for itself. You need multiple rental properties to even start making money. And then you want to get into commercial, then you want to start getting into buying apartment complexes, but it starts with that one. If you never start, then it's always gonna be that I wish I could have done that. I wish I could have done that. Eventually, you're gonna get old and you're gonna be regretting shit. We're young right now. At least me and whoever the fuck is listening to this right now. And even then, it doesn't matter how the fuck old you are, bro. There's people who started fucking businesses at 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and right, or there's people who were in bad shape, obese and everything, all of their lives, over half of their lives, 60, 70 years old. and they got their asses in shape, right? At 73, at 74, and they're living the best life that they ever lived at that age, right? For me, I want to start as early as possible. I want to retire as early as possible. I want to, right? Like, who in a podcast, I think it was Brad Lee, Patrick Bet-David, I remember he said, he read a book about Elon Musk, and it said that you need to have a maniacal sense of urgency, right? Every day you got to work for it. Obviously, you got to let God choose the day you receive it. You got to let the universe choose the day you receive it. But you got to work for it every fucking day still, right? Eventually, you're going to get lucky. After hard days, after years and years and years and years and years of hard work. And people, for me, it's trading, right? You cannot get rich overnight in trading. You just cannot. You might get lucky, but if you get lucky, trust me, you're going to give that money back to the market and more. I promise you. That has happened to me. I got beginner's luck in trading, and it's honestly what got me hooked, which I'm grateful that I got that beginner's luck, because if I would have blown that account right away, who knows, maybe I would have, I don't think I would have quit, but it would have definitely changed my mindset towards it, because in the beginning, I thought this shit was going to be easy. I thought this shit was going to be, I thought I was going to make so much money. Little did I know I was completely wrong. This is a fucking marathon, not a fucking sprint, right? But back to the original point, which was saving to buy assets, saving to invest money, saving to start up a business, saving to invest in yourself, and if you don't even know what to invest in yourself, invest in your health, invest in your body, invest in a coach, online coach, invest in a in-person coach, right? Get in better shape. Once you start getting in better shape, then your mind will become to get stronger. I think first you gotta have a strong mind in order to start getting in shape. Obviously, because everybody's gonna go to the gym one day, and the next day, guess what? You need a strong mind to go again, and the next day again, you need a strong mind. The video cut off. This is probably gonna be the last one, and we're already about to get home too. So, but you need a fucking strong mind obviously anybody could do something one day, but you need a strong mind to do it over and over and over and over again. Even when you fail, you gotta get back up, pick yourself up, see what you did wrong, see what you could have done better, and learn from it and continue to get better. But you need a strong mind, right? And your mind doesn't get stronger as your physical body gets stronger, but obviously your mind does have to be stronger first, right? And well, yeah, even to save money, right? You gotta have a strong mind, because there's a lot of temptations out there. A lot of people have a lot of temptations, especially if you come up at a poor, like if you didn't come up rich, you didn't come up with a lot of money, bro. As soon as you started making money, you started wasting it, because obviously to fulfill all of those fucking necessities that you didn't have as a kid or shit, right? When I started making money, I started buying a bunch of fucking video games. I started buying Wi-Fi, I started buying headsets, I started buying DLC packs, started buying camo packs, everything that my mom couldn't buy me, right? For me, it was video games. That's what I loved. And then eventually got into skating, and then eventually got into other things, right? Clothes and all of that stupid shit. But now that I think about it, all of that money is gone. I could have saved it. Obviously, I didn't know what to save it for. But eventually, even though you don't know what to save yet, keep on saving. Eventually, you will know what to save in. And obviously, if you don't know what to save in, save so that you can pay for your better nutrition, a better gym coach, a better online coach, right? Don't waste your money, because whenever you're wasting money, at least don't waste money that you gave up your time for, right? Because when you're wasting that money, you're technically wasting your time, right? Say, and I think I posted this on Twitter, now X, one time, that whenever let's say you make $20 an hour, and you buy a shirt that costs $100. That shirt didn't really cost you $100. It costed you 5 hours of your life. Why? Because you fucking make $20 an hour. But let's say if you would have made those $100 off the market, that feeling when you buy that shirt, it's totally fucking different. That same $100, that $100 didn't change. What changed is how you made that money. And it made a total difference once you make the purchase. You know, it doesn't hurt you when you buy something. And that's how I want any purchase to be. And that's what trading, and honestly being anything, having your own business, being an entrepreneur, is gonna give you the opportunity. So peace and love to anybody watching this. This is not the end, but we're gonna go into the leg day. Yo, you know what I was just thinking? This is added. This was not even supposed to be part of the drive talk. But as I'm driving through town, looking at everything, every design, every layout, every house, every store, every building, every car, every street, every pole, everything. Somebody had to think, right? That house right there, this one. I don't mean to record nobody's home. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, but right? Somebody had to think. There was an architect that designed that house, right? What was the house first? This may sound trippy or creepy, but the house was in his mind. This goes a little bit earlier what we said about the mind, but kind of twisted a little bit, because obviously you need to have a strong mind, but also you need to be able to even use your mind in the first place, right? All of these homes, each and every one of these homes, right? The truck I'm driving, right? My clothes that I'm wearing. Somebody had to design them. Somebody had to think. It wasn't somebody's mind before it came into this 3D reality. Everywhere you look, you're basically looking at thoughts. You're looking at somebody's mind. You're looking at somebody had to think. We basically live. If you have ever played the video game Minecraft, if you play video games, we basically live in that type of shit. We do live in a what do you call that? Holographic universe, kind of, because we technically design everything that we want to, everything that we need. Every truck, every car, every road, everything. Every computer. If this phone that I'm recording this, the device that you're watching this on, it was all designed. And it all started as a thought. Before it got even put into the paper, before it got even put into the computer, the layout, the blueprint, the blueprint of the home. Obviously now nature and trees and greenery and mountains and everything else, that's God's creation. Us, we're God's creation. But everything that we designed, like, bruh, everybody could be designing something, right? Look at all of these tractors. Somebody had to think. They were in somebody's mind, right? I'm just putting this out there, right? What is on your mind? Whoever is watching this, what is on your mind? What are you producing? What are your thoughts? Obviously, I remember hearing this quote, you're not your thoughts, you're the one that listens to your thoughts, right? So even if you have negative thoughts, you're not them. You're them if you listen to them, right? And same thing with good thoughts. You gotta act upon them, or else somebody's gonna steal them. If you have a good idea, you gotta fucking act upon that shit, because it's floating in the fucking ether of space-time. So I just literally got home and we're about to go to work.
For 20 years, because there's no way you could have kept that. You could have kept that pace. You know, they just had last year. They had the Formula One race here. The cars they're not revving at the same speed all the way around. Yeah. They downshift, they upshift. It's just like your life, training, business, everything. You got to know when to upshift. You got to know when to downshift. Yeah. You cannot be in the red all the time. And this is what I was saying about burnout. Most of the time, what I've experienced is you don't get burned out from doing the things you enjoy and love. It's carrying the weight of others, carrying the weight of things you don't want to do, carrying the burdens of other individuals, carrying the weight of your past. That forces you to burn out. Kobe never burned out from basketball. MJ never burned out from basketball. You know, listen, at some point, your legs give out. You can no longer be that. You can no longer be that professional athlete. But burnout comes from not from doing the thing or things that excite you every single morning. It comes from all the other external stuff. You know, family drama, relationship drama that you create yourself, demons that you're not willing to deal with. That causes burnout.
And then the work becomes a distraction.
Yeah. I've been at this longer than most individuals. We do a lot of stages every single year, and I've never felt burned out from any of these things. Now, do I have other distractions at the end of my life? Yeah, and that has the ability to affect what I'm doing here. I do the best I can not to let it. But if I feel like I get up one morning, it's not because I'm not ready to speak, or I'm not ready to do a podcast, or I'm not ready to train. It's the other stuff, and I say, okay, listen, in order for my flame to be lit the highest here, I gotta go put out this fire. Yeah. You know, you look at business. I always say everybody wants to set the world on fire. You know, the first rule of success is setting the world on fire. But after you set the world on fire, you better know how to put those fires out, because they're coming. Yeah. They are. And you look at, as you progress through this entrepreneurial space, how many more fires have you had to put out?
Dude, so many more problems. So many. Way more responsibility, way more headaches, lawsuits, failures, everything.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's easy to strike a match. It's much difficult to control how that flame is going to burn.
Yeah. You don't know how quickly it's going to go.
Yeah.
So It's interesting we're talking about this because I think if people were to read Relentless or Winning, a conclusion they might come to is, well, bro, you just got to give it up. Like, you have to go all in and just do the things you're talking about that might lead to burnout. I can see how people would get this misconception. And for me, one thing I've always said is like, okay, I spent 8 years playing minor league baseball.
You guys caught that last part.
Making that like my identity.
That
And
one
then
in
when
a
it
break.
doesn't work out, you really look at yourself and you're like, wow.
But see, I think it did work out. It just didn't work out in baseball.
Right.
So that's the thing. So it may have not. Listen, I had a dream of playing professional basketball. Not a chance in hell is going to happen. All right. But am I going to look at everything and say, yeah, well, it led me into these other things and and wanting something so bad that for 9 years you chased it, you gave everything you had, but you also knew when to pivot.
Yes.
There's individuals that don't know when, and when you said they just quit, they just quit and they just give up on everything.
Yeah.
Instead of taking your past, your wounds in your past. All right. How are you going to use
Business.com. Book a call with our team today, and we will help you scale with purpose. So how do you we've kind of been talking about it, like, you got family drama that's causing you to, be not mentally all there during the game, whether it be in the sports business or whatever, right? And for me, winning is like, look, I want to be the best husband and the best dad. Like, I don't want there to be any debate. I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, Ryan's a great entrepreneur, he's a great, podcast guy, but dude, he's like an average fuck. Like, no, I want to be excellent at whatever it is I devote my life. If it's part of my life, I want to be excellent. I want my health to be top. I want to be stronger than I was when I was playing. I want to be having great faith. I want my relationships to be great. And obviously it's hard to be great at all things.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah.
But to me, like, when we talk about this concept of being locked in, I mean, you are going to spend time with your family, and you have a choice on whether or not you're going to be intentional or you're going to be not present.
You just said that you have a choice.
Yeah.
All right. A choice requires dedication. It requires sacrifice. It requires you to be all in. People don't make a choice. They make choices. In this society now, we have the ability. There's so many more options. There's so many more options. There's so many things for distraction. You have so many things. You have so much unnecessary things in your life that it really is consuming your life. When you can't be intentional, and you can't be focused on the things that matter the most. Obviously, I know how important your business is to you. I know how important being a mentor to individuals are. Your faith, to your family, to everything. And there is a time and place for all those things. And people try what people try to do is when they try to be great in all those things, they actually end up being average. That's where burnout comes in.
Yeah.
You're trying to do all these different things all the time. You're trying to spend time with your kids. If the phone's going off, you got something going on here, and you've been working on this deal for 2 years. All of a sudden it comes in, you're like, I got a choice. I got to make a choice. And now you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to answer the phone while you work. You spent 2 years working on this deal, and here it is, and they need an answer right now. And you look over here, and you look over here.
Yeah. What I've come to believe, I agree with you. If you try to, let's just say you're not great at anything yet, and you're trying to be great. Like, it's impossible to be great at pursuing all things at once, right? I found that I've developed skills as I've tried to, become great at them one at a time. Now, it doesn't mean like nothing, everything else in my life stops. That's not what happens, right? But it's like to be truly focused on learning one new thing and becoming great at it does take intention and focus and everything on that one thing. And like I look back at my life, I'm like, okay, I pursued baseball as a single dude for a long time. That's all I focused on. Then I got married young, and I focused on becoming a great husband. Didn't have kids, didn't have a business or any of this stuff. We were broke, $1,200 a month. Then we had kids, and I had a successful. Well, then I built my business, and that was all. I was like, yo. At that point, I had built the skill to be a good husband. Like, it doesn't leave me. Like, I spent years building that and building a new standard that, like, I hold myself to.
Well, see, now going back to being able to do all those things, and I think this is very important, and I'll let you get back to your point. Playing a team sport teaches you those things. And that's why, for me, competition with the youth and getting them involved in activities where they have to compete teaches you how to do all those things. Okay, how can you be a great father? How can you be a great husband if you were a sucky teammate?
Yeah.
If you were a terrible teammate, guess what? The chances of you being awesome in your relationship, having a great I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but you
it's a new skill to learn. You don't know how.
Right. So if people get a better understanding of that earlier, say, hey, listen. As much as you think that this is all that matters right now, but there's a game inside a game.
Yeah.
There's a life game.
Caps.
Good standard for me. I don't necessarily need to practice at it that much anymore. It's not like it's normal now. And I can go now try and be great at this other stuff.
Because you got to a no-fix stage on there.
Exactly. It's a habit.
Yes.
It's just like baseball, right? Like I can go throw and hit right now. I'm practicing years. Right. And, then you get kids and you're like, all right, I'm going to go and focus on being a great father. Okay. Business. It's like, dude, if you never succeed in business, you better be all in on figuring out how to do business well. Now, yeah, I could film and do business in my sleep. Like, I didn't prep for this podcast. I've just filmed for thousands and thousands of hours. I don't need to keep practicing. Now, if I want to be the best podcast host ever, like Joe Rogan, then sure, that's a different level of commitment. Right. But I've reached my standard of no, I'm good enough. Let me focus on other things in my life that I want to get better at. And so I think people miss this, and that how could you have so many skills and talents? And how did Kobe learn to go and do film and all this stuff? Well, he focused only on that once he went all in. Like, it's not like he learned it while he was trying to be a great basketball player. You know, he was aware of it probably, but it was like, all right, I'm on to the next phase. I'm all in.
That's it.
So you're always all in.
You're always people. Here's the thing: people don't know what the definition of all in is.
Yeah.
They don't know what the definition of all in is. All right, I beat the sun up. Okay, I worked hard. Okay, I stayed up late. I got to the point where, like, when did sleep deprivation become a key thing to success? I've never understood that. Everybody tells you how important it is to rest and recover and so forth. And they think if you constantly work, like you said earlier, if you're constantly working 18 hours, are you really performing? Are you really performing at your best? Are you really
Kobe,
all in?
I'm a Lakers fan. Did Kobe really not sleep? Like,
no, listen. There
was the rumors he like sleep 3 hours or 4 hours.
No, Kobe took naps. Kobe took naps. There were nights that, listen, he didn't sleep. All right, he would watch, obsess over film and so forth. But you can't function at that level for that long of a time where you're sleep depriving yourself. There are moments we've all had to do it.
Yeah, but it's not normal.
It's just not. It's not. But people only take that one story and make it as part of a whole person's career.
Yeah, and Kobe probably liked that people thought that.
Yeah, he's just like, he goes, all right, then they go, if he's only sleeping 3 hours, and I should be only. But what works for one person doesn't work for the other. It just doesn't.
Yeah,
that's what I said. You got to find what's. You got to put your ingredients together. You got to put your recipe together to see, hey, this is what success is going to work for me. Just like from a nutritional standpoint. Every diet book out there works. Every nutrition plan out there works, if you do it. But you got to find the one that's going to work for you. That is going to work for you. There's a winning plan out there that you have to design. You have to take something from this individual, something from this individual, something from this individual, all this, and then mix it up into your recipe and say, hey, this is my formula of winning. Not take Ryan Pineda's formula and try to throw it in with Tim Grover's and try to throw it in with Joe Rogan's and then try to throw it in with this person and this person and this person. It doesn't work. It's like individuals that claim to be experts at everything. They claim to be experts at relationships, and making money and entrepreneurs and sales and all this other stuff. I was like, you can't.
Yeah.
You just can't. You can be knowledgeable in those things, but you can't be an expert in all those things.
Yeah, you can be above average.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about a concept a lot as we're talking, and it's kind of the concept of having urgency, which I know you've talked about in the books.
That's their dream for you. That's their reality for you. But it takes a stronger person to say, you know what, it's time to do something else, because I know I gave everything I had, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't look at my career as a failure by any means. It was preparation for what's here, and I'm thankful that I did get to be able to say, hey, I did give it everything I had, and I did retire on my own terms, right? Because most don't get to say that, right? Most say, dude, I actually was definitely not making the most of it. I was partying. I was just not putting in the work that I needed to. I was immature. Because, dude, every athlete gets drafted young. You're just very young. You don't know anything.
You don't know anything.
And so I look back now, I'm like, dang, dude, I was 21. I was an idiot. It's crazy that they expect you to be like this mature adult right when you get drafted. So when I think about that, I'm like, all right, I'm thankful I did truly give it everything I had. I wasn't being stupid. I wasn't good enough. It's all good.
That's it. Yeah. I wasn't good enough.
It's all good. I can live with that.
No problem.
Yeah.
But you were good enough to be in a place where others had to consider you, that this kid is good. Just to even play at the level that you played at.
Yeah.
People always talk about, I always say, you give me the 5 worst, you give me a list of your 5 worst baseball players, basketball players, football players, whatever it is, and they'll outbeat anybody that you know that's not playing professional sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know how good you have to be just to get to that level?
Yeah. Well, the thing that taught me was, and you talk about this in the book, it's about just defining what is winning for you, right? At the end of the day, for MJ, it was purely championships.
Yes.
I got to win championships. Everything else kind of is irrelevant. And, that's not everyone's goal. Kobe was, I guess, similar. I want to get one more than MJ, right? Kobe's not going to sit here and be like, oh, there was a failure because I didn't get him. Obviously, he had massive success. But I kind of realized, even for me, everyone has their own game of winning. And to play your own game and not get caught up in someone else's game is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Because we live in the social media world of comparison. Oh, well, frick, dude, I wasn't doing what Ryan's doing or Tim's doing, or he's got more properties than me, or he's got more followers than me. And it just becomes this cycle of, well, do you even want the life that they have and the cost that they paid to have that life? They ain't got kids. They don't got to worry about the things you got to worry that are important to you. How do you define what winning looks like for you without getting caught up on other people's versions of winning?
That's up to the individual. That you got to have that. You got to have that conversation with yourself. What you just described is we're so busy listening to the shouts of everybody else. What's going on around us? What's on in our phone? What's on our TVs? What we're watching? And it drowns out our voice. So we stop listening and stop trusting the one person that can define what winning means to us. What it means to me. And you wanted to see what somebody else's definition of winning is, and it may not be yours. In the book Winning, I talk about it. I was like, describe winning in one word, and everybody talks about, it's awesome, it's wonderful, it's euphoric, it's all this thing. You talk to the people that have won it, that have constantly win, they're like, man, it's unapologetic, it's hard, it's dirty. You know, it's all these things that just people just don't understand, and that's because they're not speaking that language. They just want to see, and they want to see the end of winning. They see the end result of winning. You know, they don't see everything else that's in between. And to me, that has a lot to do with his definition of winning may be completely different, and his high side of success may be completely different than anybody else. You tell people in the world that, hey, listen, you can literally own your own 18-hole golf course, like not a little putt, your own where they play the tours and they do all that other stuff. What would you?
Yeah, so this is awesome.
Yeah, that'd be like,
yeah. Okay, I'm a golfer, so okay, I love it.
Like literally, you can go play anytime you want, and it's just like one of the best golf courses that you've ever played in.
I got friends who are members.
Yeah. All right, and so obviously you know what the cost is. You have to be a part of that, and you tell them, man, I get to own a bachelor. And be like, it's different for each individual. There's going to be a price. A price is going to need to be paid. What area? That's up to you, but you know, like
it just seems to me like the price always ends up getting paid down the road.
It does
for something, right? Whether it's like you realize, like, okay, then I made my decisions, and now I fully get to see the price because you don't see it when it happens. You're like, oh, bro, we just did it. This is great, you know. Right. And people notice it with health more than anything, right? Because dude, when you're young, we can eat what we want, we can get away with so much, and then later on in life, like, wow, that time is.
Well, listen, for people that work out, I say you pay the price if you don't work out, and then you pay the price when you work out. Because if you constantly work out, later on in life, shoulders, knees, something's always going to be a little bit out of whack. It just is. But no matter what that price is, I always say this: if you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill for regret. Okay, and that bill is generational. And a lot of individuals are passing that bill on from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next. There may be some individuals in this building where that bill was passed on to them.
Yeah, there's a quote from MJ that I always use in my presentations. I don't know if I'll pull it up, but essentially it's that concept of, he's like, I can accept trying and failing. What I cannot accept is just not trying at all and just living with the regret of not knowing.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just, that's what I just said. I mean, so you're gonna pay the price. I'd rather pay the price of this and then I regret, you know what, man, I should have done this. I could have done that.
How does somebody get over that? I mean, it's just simply fear.
Yeah. Well, it's to me, it's more, it's a lot of that. See, fear and pressure go together.
Okay.
All right. I did. I said, if you're put pressure is telling you need to face this fear and do it. You need to be able to take this last shot. You need to make those extra phone calls. You need to do these things. Doubt is something we create. You never get over doubt, because doubt is something. Fear to me is an instinct. Doubt is something that's manifested that you create yourself. You know, if you could be sitting here, you could be like, man, I could have been a really, really good podcast. I could have been really, really good at throwing events. No, but you're like, you kept doubting yourself. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And then later on, you're just like, man, I should have done this. I should have done this. Now, you look at somebody's physical health. Well, how detrimental is that to a person's mental health? Carrying that weight around with yourself the rest of your life also. But there's the weight of not being healthy physically, but that mental weight can be, you know, I use this example. You wear a backpack, all right, and the backpack weighs 5 pounds, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and you never take that backpack off. In a week, it's no longer the same weight.
I didn't want to have to say, I wish I would have done more. I don't want that. You know, I don't want that.
So, okay, so you come in. It's very powerful what you just said. Some of your peers were in it for the money, so they got the money. Okay, great. Buy a house for my mom. Dad wanted that car. Get this, get that, have fame. Go to different cities. I'm partying. I'm doing all this other stuff. Who were some of the guys that you saw and you watched that weren't just driven by the money? Were there some names that you looked at and said, these 3 guys are as crazy as I am?
At the time, I deal with what I've referred to as Goat Mountain. I went to Goat Mountain, and I talked to Magic, Michael, Bird, Keem Olajuwon, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell. You know, so I would talk to them. What did you do? What were your experiences? Michael in particular, he's become my big brother. He's been my big brother since I first came in the league. And what was that process like? And so I went to them and started understanding the ins and outs of the game, and you know how they approach things and their level of detail and obsessiveness, and that's what I did.
Why do you think? First of all, let me ask how it felt, but I'm curious to know why you think as well. How did it feel knowing, like, from the moment you got into the league, the guy at the time is the greatest of all time. Everybody wants to be like Mike, Gatorade, all this stuff. The level of respect he had for you when he spoke about you was different than everybody else. And you're an 18, 19-year-old kid at the time.
Yeah.
How did that feel when you heard how he spoke about you?
It made me feel good, but you know, like when I told him, I was like, you didn't say anything I didn't already know. So, you know, so like I tell you, like when I was in high school, and I used to work out with the 76ers. I used to ask him, what's it like to guard Mike? Yo, Mike? You mean Black Jesus? I'm like, what the? Black who? Oh, we call him Black Jesus. Or you can call him Black Cat. Like, we call him fucking Mike. That's his fucking name. So the level of fear that he inspired in others was insane. And I would tell him, I said, when I face him, we're going to go at it. He's like, oh, you don't want to do that. I'm like, what? man, you don't know me, man. And so when we matched up, I think he understood that. And, you know, when I was 18, my first year, he got the best of me a bunch of times. I was right there the next play. You're not intimidating me, I'm not going anywhere. And I think he saw that level of respect. I think he was the same way at 18 years old. And that common bond is what I think, you know, where our connection was built.
Yeah, it was great watching you guys going back and forth, whether it was the All-Star game or whether the famous scene where, you know, you're guarding him, he's in front of you, asking him a question, there's a question, and he's saying, football can do this.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful watching that take place with the two of you guys. How's your relationship today?
That's my big brother, man. Like, I can't, you know, it's, we talk often. We send each other Christmas cards every year.
Send each other Christmas cards
every year. That we have nothing to do with, but, you know, yet still, you know. But we're extremely close, man. Extremely close.
That's great. Yeah, you know, as a fan, I'm not in your world. Your world is a whole different world. I just see it from a fan, and I just see it from what experts say. But as a fan, I feel that's exactly how it would be with you and him, because the level of respect from both sides is reciprocal. And it's great to hear that. Going a little bit past it, you know, you came into the league, you start playing. First year, you get traded for Divac, which we were devastated when we lost a lot of Divac. Heartbroken. But we lost. Okay. I think he got the sarcasm. Some of you guys who don't know basketball, you missed out. Kind of one like this. But Kobe showed up. I mean, I'm like a kid in a candy store. When you show up, I'm like, oh, no more Sedale trees. We're getting some real players. Nothing against these guys, but we want to come entertain.
It'll fuck your life up more.
Yo, hello, ladies and gentlemen.
And for yourself,
This is
and
the
really
video
talking chapters
after
and doing what you've
the
done.
workout.
Where was that sort of moment where I was like, okay, I am
The
all in on
leg
this.
day
I
workout.
was all in, like, right,
See,
even inside when I was supposed to.
It's been a long day. I had to do a bunch of shit today. Well, not a bunch of shit, but no more than I normally do. Shout out to Wes Watson, speaking some real shit.
If you really love your life, really love what you're doing, most people don't. So they're just like, fuck, dude, that's
See,
really
this
loves what
is
he's
right
doing.
there, speaking
Having a
some real
structured
shit.
process like I do, that I don't
I'm
deviate from
gonna
relying myself with, and fuck.
lower the volume so I can still listen to it in the back of my subconscious mind and retrace it back to a couple minutes. But the key point of this continuation trade or whatever markup, or wait, no markup, we're going over the trades. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, markup, yeah. It's a markup for NCD Cat. I have not traded NCD Cat in years, and I just added it back to my arsenal. NCD Cat, as you can see, did a little markup today. That's what I'm looking at right now. Let me hop into the. Actually, you know what? Let me pause. So if we hop into the monthly, actually I'll show you a bit on the weekly. So here we go. As you can see on the weekly, price here at 84, 0.84, almost $1. Here we had strong supply, semi-strong supply. We broke above it, and then we broke back below it. Bearish engulfing candle. This on the weekly. We created a lower high below it, and then melted. But notice how every time we tested it, it started getting weaker. We started getting this bullish uptrend, and then now we're above it again. So if we're not selling, if this is not really a resistance, then we're buying, right? So now we hop into the daily. You can see on the daily, we broke structure, but we failed to actually close above the candle. You see how it's wicking? But as long as price can stay above 84, right? Maybe we could even get a little retest. But if you look even on the 4 hour, we broke structure too. Well, obviously, but we had a H4 bullish engulfing candle. Video cut off, but we're back. So obviously broke structure, created a bullish engulfing candle, and obviously now it failed to break highs right here. Right, we were bullish. Price was really bullish. Should have continued high right here, bullish. But I do believe price is retracing to go into 84 if it's really bullish. So this is gonna be a trade to look out for on Sunday, right? Possibly could be a nice possible 100 pip trade, and even then, if we do melt below, it's gonna be even better because it's gonna be 200 pips to the downside. So very possible trades to look at. NCD CAD for 0.04. Let me even put an alarm, an alert que diga. There it is. So NCD CAD was the first one. You could pause and read if you want, it's fine. And USD JPY was the second one. I read this, I was gonna do 3 trades because I do want to leave some for tomorrow, because obviously today is Saturday and tomorrow Sunday opens, and I wanted to charge something for tomorrow. So this is what I'm looking at. UJ obviously it was fatly bearish, right? A bunch of bearish candles, but now it's starting to pick itself up. We could see this better at the daily. Price is tested 142 exactly. Look, it wicked it perfectly. And obviously price melted below, but above it it's obviously clear bias, and that's what it did. And it just did a double bottom to the 4 hour. You see, bullish, bullish, bullish. And what did price do on the 4 hour? This is a bullish uptrend. Price broke structure right here, created this higher low, and now it's back above this mini supply and demand zone on the 4 hour. So I definitely do see price continue all the way to 149.300. At 149.300, maybe we could get something like this, and maybe a meltdown back below. This possibly could be all the way to 142, because this would already be like a quad bottom, or we could get a nice little break above to continue nice little trade 149 to 152. Oh shit, what happened? Am I getting hacked? There it is. I don't know what happened, but that's what I'm looking at. UJ definitely buys. Definitely, if I could get like we could video cut off, as I was saying, that possibly UJ can give us a nice little re-entry here. Something like this would be what I would be looking for, maybe. So maybe I'll delete this so we could have something more exact. So maybe I'll set an alarm here at 145, 330. Oh shit, let me fucking delete another alarm. I need to get the damn, I think it's only like $30 a month, but I'm gonna set an alarm right now. Well, if you guys can set an alarm, set it right here at 149, 145 to 50, right? But the second trade after this, or the last trade, was GBPUSD. The third trade that I charted, man, I literally started at freaking, it's crazy. Started at 752 to end at 940, just charting, and obviously listening to freaking Wes Watson and Tim Grover and all of those guys. Oh, and another thing that I wanted to say, look, shout out FXIG.
But as I get inside the Bugatti right now, I'm like, bro, I gotta share this motivation with you guys. If right now you are in a Nissan, in an Altima, an Infiniti, in a Honda,
for me, I'm in an
even in a
F-150.
car, I can guarantee you there is a supercar out there. There is your dream car out there with your name on it. All it's waiting for you to do is to show up every single day for the next 6 months to a year, giving 100% every single day.
All of those and more.
And that
I still gotta put a Koenigsegg up there and a bunch. I got them over here.
Is put in the fucking work. Put in the work, and you'll see how fast the car shows up. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, if it's a Saturday and you're taking time off without being at the level
Saturday and taking time off,
you're only doing yourself dirtier.
What do you
you're
mean?
Only digging yourself a deeper hole.
Get to back to work. You see, shit like that. Shout out to Chapo son, but I wanted to put that in this video because honestly, you cannot be taking breaks. Not anymore. Thought I was gonna show the glissy. No, I ain't no Diddy. I ain't gay like that. But this is what I'm looking at for the third trade. GBPUSD monthly was bullish, weekly was bullish, daily was bullish turning bearish, H4 is bearish. As you can see, price overall bullish on the monthly. Kind of looks too choppy when you have all of those fucking key levels, but they matter. Look, you could take a screenshot of each and every one of them and go back. And you're gonna see that each and every one of these key levels matter. Video cut off. This is probably gonna be the last. Probably gonna be the last Snapchat video, right? Because this is the last trade. So GBPUSD overall bullish on the monthly. This is the weekly. Look at what price did. Price says it's strong as supply zone at 131,500. And if we zoom in into the daily, actually we zoom in into the 4 hour. We tested it. Remember that this was a high. We went a little bit over, but what did we do here? Shoulder, head, shoulder. Price tested it one more time above it, and this is where I was looking for buys. I was looking for buys on GU buys August 30th, 31,590, 31,590. Yep, look at that, exactly right there. I was looking for buys because obviously previous supply turns into new demand, but I just failed to recognize the freaking inverted head and shoulders. Which is why it's great to delete the whole drawings and rechart up. I literally just noticed this right now. And then look, on the 4 hour, we just delete this right now for now. What is that? An H4 bearish engulfing candle. Bearish head and shoulders, and bearish H4 bearish engulfing candle below 131,500. Below 131,500. To continue, possible H1 lower high to continue to 130,100, which could be this right here. We go into the 1 hour, see it better, which could look like this. Okay, this is a H4 bearish engulfing candle. This could be the lower high right here. Could be a nice clean ass setup. As we're buying UJ, we could be selling GBPUSD. We just need a confirmation for both trades. Right, we just need another, like, something like this. Another little candle like this will be the confirmation. So we're obviously now flip bearish. So back to my video, and actually I gotta edit this video and upload. So peace and love to anybody watching this. Back to work for you too.